Hey folks, here is a Python program where they ask us to assign a city name, a year, put in the value that we want to, and we print out something like this, like in Tokyo, the year is 2025. So you will receive a link to the Thread itself, and I have categorized in this section where there's a variable for city and there's a variable for year. So to go ahead and put in any city that you want to, I'm just going to follow the example that you saw in the video just now. I'm just going to put Tokyo, and I'm going to put a year 2025. Now, what I want to demonstrate to everybody is that we're going to learn three different print methods. One is the concatenate method. The second is the comma method, what you see quite a lot of times in the syllabus that you're learning. Concatenate method is also part of it, but the optional f-string method is not part of the curriculum, but it's something more advanced that you guys can use. So the first one, using the concatenate plus method, is simply just print bracket, and the text just now was in Tokyo, the year is 2025. I'm going to show you what's the best method to do all these things. So here, let's try the text in, for example, that one. We're going to use the concatenate method using the plus method, where we start with the text, and then we have the variable city, and then we're going to put on the plus sign, and we're going to just use the comma because there was a comma just now. The year is text, and then we use the plus sign again, and then we have the variable year. And now we're going to put another plus sign where we have the full stop in the end. So it will be a good sentence right there. So when we run this, eventually you will see there is a type error because using the plus concatenate method, we need to make sure the int data type of 2025 is then converted to a text by using an str conversion right over here. Now, this will only happen if you use the concatenate method because that's part of the rule, and we need to change any other data type to text, then it only runs this way. But you'll soon notice that, oh, the text and the variables, they are just being jumbled up together, being combined together, and there's no space in between. So if you want to tidy that up, you can just add space right over here over the text section, where you can just press the space in between and you run that again. You'll be able to see the text looks much cleaner and nicer. So that's the concatenate method. I'm not going to show you the comma method, another method that you could do in Python 3. So the comma method is this way. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to type in the text in again, but this time instead of the plus sign, I'm going to use a comma, and then I'm going to type the variable city, separate the variable with a comma again, and then put in the how do we call it, the speech marks for the text. And this time I'm not going to put in a comma. I'm going to show you why later on, or should we put a comma, then we can see what we can make changes. I'm going to put in there, and then we're going to type in the year is, and then we're going to replace comma with the plus, and then this time I'm going to type year and then comma again. I'm going to have the, for example, full stop. Now, so let's try running this and see what happens and what's the difference between the plus sign and the comma. Immediately when you see this, you can see that comma method automatically includes the spaces for us. We don't really have to type in something like this, like an extra space in between. But you soon notice that if you use something like your own comma, and when the extra space comes in, then this doesn't look nice. We can't really do anything with this, except we can just use an alternative method like a concatenate method. So there are limitations. You won't be penalized because there's an extra spaces in this situation. It's just that you need to know which is the best method and whether to use the concatenate or the comma method in this instances. So to show that to you, you can actually combine both methods together. For example, in city. So since we don't have any comma, I'm going to use the comma for the first in city right here. And then when we need to have to use something like this text, I can combine with a plus instead, and then ensuring that this comma is actually nearby the variable city. So I have that using the plus sign. or the concatenate. And then when I tap this one, I don't want to use the str method, so I'm just going to use a comma instead. And then last one, I will use a concatenate method so that the full stop doesn't have the extra space. So using this combination method, let me just put an extra both method combine as a comment right over here. You'll be able to see that using both the comma and the plus sign, when I run this, oh, my mistake. When I run this, it says that the year should be converted to text. So when I do this in Python 3, I have to make sure that the year is being converted back to str. And when I run this, you'll be able to see by combining this method, it has a nice little way to present your information. Now, it really depends which method you want to do. Both methods can be combined, showing to you that in Python you can do anything as long as you follow the syntax of the rule. But in the exam, you can either choose to use the common method or the concatenate method, ensuring that whenever you use it, you know when is the right way and when is the best time to use these methods. Now, there's another optional method that I want to show you. It's not part of the UK syllabus, but it is part of the advanced Python users would use because it's much more easier using the latest Python version. So this method is printf with the syntax of f quotation marks. F-string means formatting it to the text. And this is much more cleaner and simpler using the F-string method, where I can type in the text and then instead of the variable, this traditionally using as the curly bracket, what it looks like that, and type in the variable inside study. Then the text immediately, the year is, and then I just need to use the curly bracket again, year, and then full stop in the end. Using this f-string method, you can see that you don't really need to put in so many combinations plus sign, just that the variables are separated with a new syntax, which is a curly bracket. The f-string method has lesser things to add in, it's cleaner, it's easier, and you combine text and variables without even converting things together. Now, you can choose whatever method that you use. I hope this video helped you guys to distinguish 4 different methods of print in Python, and go ahead to experiment how to use this. Good luck!